Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be my February bullet journal setup. I think it turned out pretty good. I tried some new things, tried some colors that I'm not used to, and I think you can tell, but branching out is good, so that's what I did. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. Alright, so jumping right in, we're going to start with a calendar page and my just front cover page. I decided to go with a smaller calendar this month. Last month I did a pretty big one. I did it over a 2-page spread, and my idea was that I was going to flip back to it a lot and refer to it and write down, a lot of things, and that just didn't happen. And so I just shifted my plan and I went for a smaller one here. That way I can still see a general layout of what the month will look like without, really necessarily having to go back to look at it frequently. This month I decided to go for a butterflies and cherry blossoms theme. I originally was just going to do butterflies and cherries, but when I tried to draw the cherries, they looked really wonky, and so I just shifted my plans a little bit and went for cherry blossoms instead. Butterflies have become really popular lately. I think just generally I've seen them a lot in fashion, in bullet journaling, in jewelry, that kind of thing. And I haven't really leaned into it, but butterflies are really pretty, and so I just thought it would be a fun one and it would be different from what I usually do. And you can see later the colors that I do are different than what I would usually go for in this type of setting. But it was pretty fun. I didn't do too much research when it comes to the butterflies and what they look like. I kind of just looked up butterfly drawing on Pinterest and then based my drawing off of that and kind of hoped for the best. So, I don't think these are the most anatomically correct butterflies, but I still think they turned out cute, and yeah, they're definitely more of an artistic style than a scientifically correct style. So now you can see I'm just going in with some color here. I decided to go for yellow for the butterflies. I don't know, it's so cold here in Idaho in February, and the seasonal depression can just hit you hard. It can just get to you. Because it's so cold and it's so dark outside all the time that I really wanted to just bring some brightness in with these yellows and pretend like it's closer to spring, even though it's not, and we've got a long road ahead of us before it is warm outside again. But yeah, I wanted to pretend, give myself that. So as you can see, here I just decided to do every other one for my colors, and I just used this brush set that I got off of Amazon that I can link in the description box. I decided after I put the colors in that I needed to make the lines around the wings a little thicker because it was hard to tell where one wing started and where one stopped, and so I just wanted to go in, make it a little bit thicker, while featuring the top of my head. So I wanted to make it a little thicker, make sure that you could tell, and then I just went in and filled in the body with a black brush pen. And then you can see at the bottom I'm just making the flowers pink, and then I just added a darker shade of pink in the center just to give them a little bit more dimension. Again, this isn't super scientifically correct. That's not exactly what a cherry blossom looks like. It's not super realistic, but definitely, have fun with things. Make it as artistic or as realistic as you want it to be. I know that some people really enjoy taking a much more artistic approach, whereas others are really good with that hyper realistic. And so, just do whatever you want. Whatever feels right to you is what you should do. And that's kind of what I did here as well. So as you can see, I'm just finishing up this last little butterfly in the corner. I liked having these little side views of the butterflies. I just think it adds a little more dimension and it's just fun. And then I went in and I colored just a branch in brown so that you could tell that it was branch and so that it didn't feel so empty. Because before I colored it in, it was like, okay, here's some random lines. One thing I did bring over from my calendar from last month was making each number of the calendar have a little color dot that went around it. I thought this is just a fun way to incorporate a little bit of color into a calendar without taking away any of its functionality, because the calendar portion was just feeling a little bit bland. So yep, I went in with those dots and then highlighted just the days of the week with colors as well. Alright, so moving on to the next page. These pages are my goals page and a gratitude log. I think gratitude is a really great way to improve your mental health. I found that when I find something to be grateful for every day, it makes every day a little bit better, and it helps me spiritually, like with my religion, to feel grateful for God. But it also just helps my mental health. Like, okay, maybe there were some bad things that happened today, or maybe I just felt a little bit off, but here are all the good things that happened today that I'm really grateful for. And I can kind of focus on the positives instead of the negatives. And that's something that has been important to me and has really helped me, improve my way of thinking. So I wanted to include that. I don't do this every single month, mostly because I'm bad at remembering to flip back to it. So once I get like in my weeks and I'm ready to go, I'll use my bullet journal every day. But I will forget to flip back to some of these month-long spreads, and so I tend to not include them super often. That's why I also do my habit trackers weekly instead of in one month-long spread, because I just will totally forget to turn back to it, and then it just kind of feels like a waste of paper if I don't turn back. So, and then on the other side, I just wanted to create a little space to write down some goals. At the beginning of the year, I wrote down my main goals, and then each month it's about making little goals to help myself get to the main goal. So that's what I like to work on. I haven't decided quite what these goals will be yet specifically, which is why I didn't write them down. But once I do, I'll just fill them in right there, and then it's also nice, kind of as like a journal aspect, to look back at it and see what I wanted to improve on and how I've improved and things like that. So as you can see here, I'm just adding in some color to the butterflies and the blossoms. That way they don't look so bland. For each butterfly, I kind of just rolled with my gut and did whatever felt right. That's why they all look different. So here we have our first weekly spread of the month. Something that I've been trying, that I want to experiment with and see if I like for my bullet journal is on the right side there, I created kind of like a school dashboard type of thing, where I can write down all my due dates in that section, but then I'll have the entire box to write down my goals. So, what I'd been doing before was I just have a box for each day, and then I'd write down due dates and my goals for that day and my tasks, and it just got a little too muddled for me. And so what I'm trying is making them separate. So you can see I'm just taking 3 classes right now. I'm graduating this semester, so I don't have a ton of stuff to do. But that way I have space to write down the due dates for those 3 classes, but then I also have a space for each day. And then in the bottom left there, I just made a little habit tracker. Like I said, I like to do those weekly instead of monthly, because I'll forget about them if I don't do them that way. So that's what I decided to do for this one, and I really like how this weekly spread turned out. So here we have our final flip through of each of the pages. You can see how they look at the end, and that is it. Thanks, guys. Alright, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like if you liked it, and a comment telling me what your favorite bullet journal theme is to do and what was your February theme. I would love to know. It's always good to have inspiration from others. So yeah, and please subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!